Hey everyone, it's Jelly Cards, and you're listening to the Jelly Cards podcast. We've been collecting since we were kids. Whether it's Pokemon cards or sports cards, being a collector at heart always comes first. You can listen to all our episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And if you are enjoying these topics, please give us a rating and a follow on both Spotify and Apple, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So, if you are ready, we are ready. Sit back, relax, and as always, keep spreading the love of the hobby from your friends at Jelly Cards. Did you watch the first, any of the Tokyo Series games?
Yeah, I caught a little bit of both before I had to go into the office.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, hey, welcome. Welcome to the podcast, man. Yeah, poor John can't be on the podcast to talk baseball.
Yeah,
man.
you
The
just
guy
hit
loves
record. You
baseball.
started you hit record mid-sentence. Like people don't even know what's going on, what we're talking about.
Well, this is our new thing because now that we have the intro, now we can just start rolling. I don't have to go through this whole
I know.
spiel.
I got it, but nobody knows what we were talking about before you hit record, bro.
I was gonna get into it.
Oh, okay, my fault. Sorry, I ruined the tease.
I was gonna get
fault.
into it.
Yeah, right. Yep, you're a professional host now. I'm just the side.
No, you're the co-host.
I'm the co-pilot.
You're
All right,
the
go ahead.
co-host.
All right, go ahead. Get into your thing. I'm sorry, I jumped into it.
Well, I was first gonna say it's dangerous that you and I are recording by ourselves again because the last time we recorded, the internet blew up.
Yeah.
And
you
we
can see my
just
whole
got
head
yelled
this
at.
time, so maybe I guess it's fine.
Hey, I just shaved my head today too, so I am truly bald.
I actually need to probably touch up around here. I got the nice horseshoe going.
Yeah, there you go. Bring back the monkey tail.
Right. There's nothing I can do about the second part of that. But we're still working on that.
Yeah.
So, but bald,
yes.
Bald I can't control. So yeah,
going back,
Hey, it's all right. It's gonna be fine. Everyone can see my head today.
That's right. Going back to the Tokyo series, though, yeah. If you if you were able to watch the game, because I woke up at 6 a.m. so I can catch the game right away. Yeah, it was really cool. I really actually liked what they did, and I liked that MLB did that. However, I didn't like that they actually made them legit games. I don't like that was opening day for the Cubs and the Dodgers. That I dislike. I truly think that they probably should have been exhibition games. Keep them within spring training. Because it's that's you're starting before obviously all the other MLB teams are starting. All other teams are still in spring training. You have the Cubs and the Dodgers doing this weird 2-game series in Tokyo. Clearly they're going to be jet lagged. Obviously you brought them in a week early, but still it's not the atmosphere to be oh, this is an actual game. Hey guys, keep, because there's so much excitement. I'll bet you there was so much excitement leading up for it, especially for the Japanese players. Players obviously Seiya, Shota, Sasaki, Yamamoto, Otani. This is a homecoming for them. So I just kind of don't like that, you didn't just make it fun. Let's just make it fun, make them exhibition games. You put a little pressure on it being opening day for them. But overall, I thought it was really cool, and I like that they did that. But if you did notice, they put Otani's gold patch on TV, and they briefly talked about it, how Topps or how the MLB is collabing with them. But we'll get into that kind of later on because I want to talk basically baseball. We're gonna talk the Paul Skenes card that's sold on Fanatics Collect. Talk about how Dick's Sporting Goods was the one that actually won the auction, which I think is really cool. Kind of talk about the future of Topps and sports cards, because Tops and Fanatics do plan to do these debut patch autos for basketball and football in the near future. But we could start off
Oh, we
with
got
some
the show and
show
tell,
and
right?
tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get into a little show and tell here. We are going to be showcasing some baseball cards. If you want, do you want me to go first? Or you want to go
Yeah,
first?
you go first.
All right, I'll go first. So
Yeah,
I set aside 2 cards.
Or I don't know. Your cards are better than mine, so maybe I should go first.
Hey, it's up to you. If you want to go, you can go.
Yeah, I'll go first. Okay, because this is just like this is just my guy. Your cards are better. I know what you bought. I know what you're gonna show because I know what you bought.
Oh, that card is so
there we
so
go.
good.
Man. I didn't even think this card was gonna get a 10. I like submitted this. It was like, oh, I should just submit this because it's D-Lee, and like you can tell it's off center.
I mean, yeah, it's off center,
slightly. But like I was like, hey, you know what? I'll take the 10. I know that drives you crazy that PSA let this be a 10, but you know what? I'll take it. I also think it might be like 1 of 1. So like in pop count.
like a pop count.
Yeah,
1
pop count.
Yeah.
Like there's no way it's over 10. So
I mean but here's the thing though. That's the true love of the hobby right there.
So it was it's a Derek Lee card autograph from 2006 when he's a Cub. And he was very formative in my baseball career when I was still playing baseball. So
he was our best
definitely
player.
Definitely one of my favorite Cubs. Probably, well, I don't know if he is my favorite Cub because Kerry Wood's up there too. So, but yeah, D-Lee for sure. Probably my favorite position player. So,
I mean the fact that we couldn't go to a World Series while he was on the team was very unfortunate. Him, Aramis Ramirez, and I mean, it's very unfortunate that the Cubs just couldn't.
I'll blame Alex Gonzalez because he can't field up.
Yeah, because he can't do a routine double play, but he can't do it.
Right. Yep, because he can't do a routine double play. Don't even need to blame Bartman.
Poor Bartman. Oh man,
poor guy. Yeah,
that was
poor guy. Yeah.
If anybody hasn't watched the documentary of that, you gotta watch. You have to watch that documentary.
Then they tried to buy his favor by they were gonna offer him a World Series ring, and he's just like, please stop calling me.
Yep. Yeah, this guy had to change his entire life because
good for him.
If you watch it, a bunch of other people are reaching for the ball. He just happened to be the one that touched it.
He's the poor guy listening to Ron.
Yeah,
Ron and Pat.
He had the radio
he's
on.
Listening to Ron and Pat, and he's just like, "Oh boy, here's my chance for a ball. I'm so happy I'm gonna get this chance." And then he had to move.
Yeah, he had to change his name and everything. He had because he was getting death threats.
Yeah,
but you know what? You know what was worse? The worst part about it, it was Alu's reaction. If Moises Alou didn't react the way he did, I don't think the crowd would have been pissed off. But the fact that Moises was so pissed off.
They took him out.
Oh, yeah.
They took him out they were like, oh, you got to get out of here, man. People are pissed.
Yeah,
and
you would have thought we were in Philly. Yeah. You would have thought we were Philly fans.
Yeah, that was a bad showing for Cubs fans.
Yeah,
probably in the moment I was pissed at him too because I was basing it off of honestly, because of what you said, Moises' reaction to that was
Moises' reaction,
oh man, this guy just blew it.
Mm-hmm.
But then, when you look back and watch that whole inning, you're like, oh wait, Gonzo totally screwed that up. So it didn't even Bartman didn't even matter if Gonzo
Pryor was still pitching.
Pryor,
right?
yeah,
it
was Pryor.
And I'm sorry, but was Pryor started getting lit up?
Yeah, I mean,
the Marlins were lighting him up.
It was 7 2/3 or 8 2/3. He was deep into that game.
Yeah,
but that's what Dusty did.
It was the 7th inning.
That's what Dusty did. He rolled those arms and just blew them out, and that's why they never. That's why it's just he never went to the bullpen. He just blew. He just rode his boys, and they blew him out. All right. Anyways, go ahead. Your cards.
Yeah. Yes. So if you have been following us on our social media platforms, I have posted or made videos of these 2 pickups that I got at a local card show that I just went to. And again, I said this in one of the videos I posted. Shout out to John because all I do now when I go to card shows it's strictly vintage for me. I don't look at anything. I mean, I will browse some of the modern cards. I'll look at some of like like the Bowman baseball cards and stuff like that. Like I saw some Moises, Ballesteros cards. I saw some Matt Shaw cards, and I was like, "Ooh, those could be some really good pickups, and stuff." But especially because they're Cubs players. But to me, I strictly just go. I try to find the vintage tables, and that's all I do. Is I look at
Yeah.
vintage baseball. That's all I do. So
Which is
one of
crazy
the
because when we first started, we were like, "Oh, get all this vintage out of here! We want
yeah,
wax
and
and we
now it's
want
like
yeah."
all I want is vintage. All I want is vintage. I don't care about the grades. I don't care. As long as
Or the
if they're
grades are
affordable
the
price.
grade. Yeah, the grades matter less because of like how old they are, sort of
Yep.
thing.
And
Yeah,
here's one of the first pickups I
there you go.
had.
Yeah.
So this is a 1961 Topps Willie Mays card. It's graded a SGC 2.5. You know me, I love SGC, especially when it comes to vintage. But if I zoom in, look at that edge, man.
Yeah, it's
That's that is rough, man.
I don't
That
know.
is
Like,
rough.
hey, at least it's
Look at
like it's still
yeah,
like it's
that
still
is
showing some white, so
rough.
you're good. It's fine.
But
But
it's
yeah, I
like
mean, it's whatever.
it's like
Yeah,
chewed up,
it was some
man.
whatever. It was some
You know
person
what?
smoking cigarettes, just
Yeah,
cutting it with
man.
like the worst pair of scissors you've ever seen in your
Yep.
life. Just like, I can't wait to get home. Say,
But
it's
honestly, but it's like I can't. How I was looking. So I'll show the other card. But so when I went to the show, there was this older gentleman that was the vendor that I bought these two cards from, and all he had was just vintage slabs out there. And one of the best things that I love most about when I go to card shows and I talk to vendors is I just like when vendors chat with you and they just
right.
not even if it's about the cards, they're not trying to sell you on the cards that they have. They're just talking shop with you. They're talking
Right.
baseball, and he's just going through like talking about the collections, the times when he bought these cards and all that stuff. So I spent almost my whole entire time. Like I was probably at his table for like 15 minutes going back and forth trying to decide which cards I wanted to buy from him. And
Was he all
yeah,
SGC or did he have a mix of everything?
all SGC. That's all he had
Oh,
was just SGC
because it's
slabs.
weird because you say how you like to talk to people, but then you run by the owner of GMA and you don't say anything. So
I
yeah,
am almost convinced that
so
had to have been
it had
either
to be
it was Alan or it was Doug. One of them.
probably shouldn't call them by their first names because that's weird
Yeah,
because we
true.
don't know
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
But
But I'm just saying, yes, next time if I do go to one of the other shows and I see the
yeah,
table again, I am
yeah, you should
100%
say
going to
something
approach them
because who
and
else
try.
has
Yeah,
that many
I know.
GMA cards?
It's true. It's true. But the cool thing about the Willie Mays card is when I bought it is that he actually sold it to me at the price that he paid for the card.
Oh, that's actually really good.
He just
That's
was like, you know what? He's like, this is what I paid for it. I asked him, I was like, how much room do you have on it? So basically, what he did is he marked on the price tags. Um, he had red lines on some of the price tags to notify like the buyers that hey, he doesn't have much room on them. But if it didn't have a red line, he was willing to wheel and deal with you. And he told me he was. I asked him, I was like, hey, how much room do you have on the Willie Mays? He was like, well, he said, I bought it for this amount. You know what? I'll sell it to you for the amount that I bought it. And I said, thanks, man. I said, sure, I'll get it. And then
if you think
this was
about
the
it,
first.
you actually made money on that
Yeah.
deal.
So this is another card that I picked up. It's a 1954 Bowman Duke Snyder card. It's
It's a
graded
good
an
picture.
SGC3, man.
It's a
I
very
know the
good picture. It's a very
the
clean picture.
the 50s Bowman like cards, like obviously John says the same thing. These cards are amazing. Like
Yeah.
the depictions of the players, they're really sweet cards. The kind of
Honestly, yeah, it was
like the cursive
yeah.
names at the bottom. They're really cool cards. Duke Snyder, as you guys know, I've talked about him before on the podcast. He's become one of my big like PC collection players. If I spot a Duke Snyder card, I'm not going to pass it up. So that was like instantly, right? I mean, I walked in went around the corner, saw the vendor, and spotted the Duke Snyder, and done. Made a deal with it and got the card, man.
What? So
And now
what
I
year
have
is that? 56?
54.
54.
1954, man. That's honestly probably one of the coolest cards that I now have. I mean, I have his
Yeah.
54 tops. So I have his 1954 tops in a PSA 3 that I got when I was at the National with John and JK last summer. That was one of the cards that I was trying to snag when I was there.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I was able to pick up these two vintage cards. Just brings me back to being a true collector when I get some vintage slabs, man.
Yeah,
So
those are cool. I'm like still going back and forth on trying to get a slab card for every signed ball I have, or at least the signed balls that I have displayed. But like the one ball I had, the one Ernie Banks and Willie Mays ball I have co-signed. I'm like, shit, that's expensive. I mean, I already have the Ernie, but like the Willie Mays rookies, I can't buy one of those. So
and you got that sweet Kyle Schwarber,
right. But I also have Fergie Jenkins and Mark Grace.
And you shook Dan Vogelbach's hand.
And I shook Dan Vogelbach's hand and Kyle Schwarber's hand and Almora's hand. Yep. Yeah, I don't even think he's in the MLB anymore, but we did that. That's good.
Last time he was playing for the Cincinnati Reds, and I mean, yeah, I don't know if he's still on the Reds or not. Hey, I still got that Kane County Cougars hat with Vogelbach and Almora's
there you go
autograph on it. Vogelbach he's got baseball mitts for hands, man. That dude,
yeah, he's got big.
That
hands,
dude swallowed.
I think he's a coach now.
So is he not even? Wait, Almora or Vogelbach?
Vogelbach. I think he might be working.
He's not in the league anymore.
I think he just signed like a deal to be.
Oh, that's unfortunate, man. That guy was.
I wonder. His rookie card should be with the Cubs, right?
Yes, it should be. I don't even know if he's got.
Yeah, I think he retired this year, and then
that's unfortunate.
He's a coach somewhere now. Hang on, let me see. Yeah, he's a special hitting assistant for the Pirates.
Damn, he's 32 years old. Thought he was younger.
I can't afford a Willie Mays rookie, but I could afford a Willie Stargell rookie.
You can't get do you have to get the rookie card? Why don't you just be like me where you get like one of like Willie's like later cards?
Yeah, I could, but like I have Ernie's rookie card, so that would be like the start of it. So anyways, okay, people don't care about this.
Yeah, we're getting off topic here.
Whatever, yeah.
But yes, so let's get into the Paul Skenes talk right now because of course, everybody should know, and probably everyone's probably heard, except for Luke Little. Did you? I sent that video.
No, I didn't listen.
Mama Breaks.
I didn't watch that video yet.
Apparently, Luke Little sleeps under a rock because,
or he just doesn't know about.
Or maybe,
cards,
yeah, he's just. I guess. Well, he said in the interview. So, Mama Breaks, she posted a video on YouTube, and she was interviewing Luke Little for the Chicago Cubs, and he was talking. He basically said he's not a card collector. He owns one card, and do you know what that card is? It's his 101 MLB debut patch auto card.
Did he buy it off eBay or something?
He bought it.
Nice.
He bought his own card from a seller. I can't remember if it was on eBay
sick.
Or not.
I
but
guess
he bought that own card.
That's actually the way to do it. You just get the one. You just get the. Yep. All right, I'm good.
And
good for him.
So he said obviously the rest of his family and stuff has been buying a lot of his rookie cards and things like that. But
we should sell some because I know we have some.
Yeah, man. I was looking at Luke. I watched that little interview and
I think we already sold. I think we pulled his auto. Someone had his auto and we sold it. Maybe we already sold it.
You probably bought some. I think you were big on Luke Little and I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It was probably
big
John.
On Cubs. That was
Burl Caraway.
That was that same draft. So that was like 2020. Yeah. So we were just
he was 2020.
We were just like buying up everything.
He was. Yeah. But yes, going into he didn't even know that Paul Skenes in the interview she just posted the video, but the interview happened while the Paul Skenes card was still on auction. But that card sold for $1.11 million. And I posted a video. I called that. That was like almost damn near exact what I said. I said it was going to go for 1.1. And it sold for 1.11. But
oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that probably made John super happy because Paul Skenes is a pitcher and we kind of rip on pitcher cards all the time and say, pitcher cards aren't, worth buying into. And the next thing you know, Paul Skenes, he sells for 1.11. But I think Paul Skenes is like an outlier when it comes to pitchers.
Also, knowing that this was all the proceeds were going towards the LA fire relief was part of it. And then knowing, now we know who bought it, that even makes more sense that they were like, oh, this is something that this is $1 million to charity for a corporation's like, that's easy. Like,
yeah. So, yeah, I definitely want to get into that because, not only, obviously, like we said, not only the card sold for well over $1 million, but almost instantly after this card was sold on auction, it was sold on auction by Fanatics Collect, we found out that it was Dick's Sporting Goods that ended up winning that auction and now is the sole holder of probably one of the best modern baseball cards, if not the best modern baseball card today. And it's crazy that, Dick's was the one that ended up buying it and winning the card. But the one thing that I love most about it and what I like that it didn't go to some just like high end, collector who's just gonna, obviously, keep it, stored away and, in their house or whatever. Dick's actually has a plan to have this card on display at one of their new stores that they're doing, which is called the House of Sport. So Dick's obviously separate from their normal store, fronts that they have, like Dick's Sporting Goods. They now do storefronts where it's basically just surrounded by, it's like more of like an interactive sports experience. I mean, it's still a store where you can go in and basically almost has like every section is different based on, certain sports. But I think they do like training things there. They have like, I think at one location, if for like winter, they'll put like an ice rink out on their like turf field so people can like play out on, and test equipment, things like that. But at their Pittsburgh location, and I think Dick's I think they're originally from or started in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah.
Or started in Pittsburgh.
I think so.
Yeah. At one of their Pittsburgh locations, they are actually going to have the one-of-one Paul Skenes PSA 10 on display in a certain section of the store that's going to be known as like the collector's space. So it's going to have cards and memorabilia. And I guess this is something that Dick's is now going to do with a lot of these different locations across country, is they're going to have a collector's space now. So just give me your overall opinion on the card selling for over $1 million, your opinion on Dick's being the one that bought it, and what do you think about that?
I think between us, when we learned that it was all the proceeds were going towards charity, I think we're all like, oh, this is gonna be like $1 million card, because somebody who's already rich enough to buy this is going to be rich enough to benefit from that amount of money being a charitable write-off. But I think it's even, I mean, I don't know what Dick's does in charity, but like them being like a corporation, like I'm sure $1 million in charity, that's like a drop in the bucket. I'm sure I'm sure the person who was bidding on this was like an intern, or some like,
they probably said win the card.
Like just something like that. Like I would
you
not
have
be,
one
I don't
job.
know that, but like I wouldn't be shocked if it was like some entry level guys like, hey, we got a fun project for you. We want you to win this card. You have authorization to spend
whatever you want.
$5 million.
Whatever it takes.
Like if it's gonna go over $5 million, then you need to ask your boss. But like you have authorization to bid up to $5 million on this card or something crazy like that. especially knowing that they were going to display it and then they could write it off. Like, they're going to get so much foot traffic to that store that
100%.
yeah,
It was
it'll
such a
pay.
smart
Yeah,
thing.
it'll
Yeah.
pay for itself immediately.
Yeah, and that's what I love most about it, that they're actually putting it on display at a location. And here's the thing: if you're Dick's Sporting Goods and you have this idea in mind that, like, hey, we want to start getting into the collectors avenue. We want to go down that route of, let's start getting into collectibles. Let's start, getting into memorabilia. Let's start getting into sports cards. We're a sporting goods store. Let's like kind of
I wonder if
showcase
they're
some of
going to
this
sell
stuff.
wax at that store. I wonder if that gets them. Like,
So
I wonder
that's
if
kind of
that.
what it sounds like to me. Is I think they must be now able. They're going to start selling sports cards. And they'll probably have other memorabilia, like, probably collection pieces, or maybe, memorabilia that's probably going to be donated to them to showcase in their,
Yeah, they've already got
in
a
those
pipeline now
displays.
set up with that
Yeah.
card.
But I think if it's going to be a collector space featuring cards and memorabilia, you're now going to have a section where people can go in and buy sports cards. And I think that's great for them. And I love that they're going to now have, yes, like you said, they're going to have this Paul Skenes card displayed at the Pittsburgh store. The moment they say, hey, this card's going in the store, we're opening it up and everyone can come see it on this date, there's going to be a line out the door just to be able to walk past and see this card.
I wonder if I have no idea. Again, I'm just going in blind. I probably should have done more research, but I don't know how much of this is. Do they have one of these stores already open?
Yes.
These.
Yeah, so they already have, I think I want to say there's only 9. I think there's 9 locations in Champaign, Illinois. I think there's one in Champaign, Illinois that they did. Yeah, it's not even like, they're not even like big locations. Like, if you look there, it's like Scranton, Pennsylvania is like one of the locations or something, I think. But I think they're now going to start creating more locations across country, is what I was reading in one of their articles.
I don't know if the other house of sports or other houses of sport currently sell cards, but
I don't think so. I don't think they've got like.
That's where I was going to say, like, maybe this now they've opened the communications with Fanatics. We're like, hey, so we just brought in, I'm sure there was a buyer's fee, like, so I'm sure Dick's was just like, hey, we just paid you at least 10% on top of the So another $100,000. They're like, hey, so we just paid you another $100,000 just for the opportunity to buy this card. Could you send us some wax, maybe, or like, work us into getting some wax, because now we have this card, which is going to draw card collectors. It would be cool to be able to sell cards. So, like, I wonder if these House of Sports will get a plug with Fanatics to start selling wax, because that would only make sense.
Yeah, they could get a plug with Fanatics and with Topps, and I mean then now they can now they can have a distribution of wax and sealed product, and maybe you can even, I don't know, maybe you can start buying single cards from them. Or if like some major collectors, like, what if they start doing consignments and you can now consign some of your
they should have a card section. They should have a card section.
Yeah, and you have display cases.
Could even have its own booth with a person working there, like a person dedicated who knows cards. That would be cool, because it's sports related, so it's not even far-fetched.
No, it's not. I mean, like, I don't expect them to be selling like Pokemon cards or anything like that. But if they just stuck with sports cards, and obviously just like
Pokemon
Topps products
cards are for little kids only, okay?
Yep.
What are you thinking? What are you saying?
I know.
What are you saying? Pokemon, only 9-year-olds buy Pokemon cards.
I know. It's not for adults.
They go
it's
to
kids game.
They go to Walmart with their parents. They pick a pack off the rack for $3.99, and they go and they purchase it. That's the only person. That's the only people who buy Pokemon cards. So
it's only people that are allowed to buy Pokemon cards. Apparently,
it's the only
they're only the ones that are allowed.
Yeah,
but getting back into it, so now that Fanatics and Topps is doing these MLB debut patch autos, it's kind of really changed the way they're like approaching like cards now, because you're now really integrating the sport
Yeah.
itself into cards. And that's something that, we haven't seen before. It's something that Panini wasn't doing. Panini did a lot of patch cards, but if you read the back of a lot of Panini product, they weren't specific to any game. They weren't game worn. They weren't game used. They're
Yeah,
basically just
somebody.
grabbing a patch
Yeah,
from
one of us sent
a
like a
jersey, and
video. Yeah, of like, and you could cut those cards open, and it would you could trace it back to who it was, because I
and
remember
it was from
watching
from
somebody on
a
Instagram
different
do
player.
that. Yeah, and it
Yeah.
was some guy. Yeah, they were like cutting patches from like guys who got cut during their rookie deal,
Yeah.
like jerseys, and it was just like, what are we doing?
Yeah. So I like that Fanatics and Topps is really kind of
Yeah.
integrating the actual sport itself and getting the sport involved into the cards. And so I think it's now making these cards, oh, excuse me, it's making these cards that much more sought after, because this isn't like the debut patch is actually worn. The first game that these rookies play in, they're wearing the patch, and then that jersey gets taken away from them, and they take the patch, and then they put it into a card and say, "Here you go." Like, and who wants it? It obviously, how John was talking, that they're kind of redemptions. They shouldn't be making them redemptions, but they then send it out for people to try to,
Well,
to buy and
I
collect.
agree with the redemption thing, because
Yeah.
that's kind of, I don't know. They've sort of like baked in an excuse for them to do the redemptions. Hey,
Yeah.
these guys haven't signed yet, so you gotta sort of hold on to your redemption card until they sign.
Yeah.
But also, maybe we haven't asked them to sign. You don't know know that as a consumer, but we're telling you that they haven't signed yet. So
now that
maybe you have to wait, hold on to your redemption cards, and talk to us later, and wait to do anything with your card until you talk to us. John's got a point with that. That's very true.
I think now, though, like if these cards are gaining that much steam, they might not be able to kind of wait for the player to be ready to sign. Like, I mean, they might have to just be like, "Hey, we need to get this card signed. We need to get it, this. Hey, somebody pulled your debut patch auto. Like, hey, we need you to sign this card because this is a big deal."
And that's where I wonder, with Fanatics / Topps eventually owning all the licenses, the same way that you can't get Caleb and Jaden Daniels autos in Panini products right now because they have exclusive contracts with Topps, eventually that's going to be all the top players, and then Topps also has the licenses to print their rookie cards. So you're going... The only reason to have redemption cards then for the big hitters is because they want you to sell that card on their auction site, so they get another piece of the chunk from it.
Yep.
So anybody who's listening to this card, or listening to this podcast, who pulls a 1 out of 1, or 1 out of 1 redemption, don't get your card from Topps and then decide what to do with it.
Yeah, true.
Like, don't let them control what you do with your card. Like, yeah.
Could you imagine?
It's so stupid. They like make you be. It's gross. Like, John has a very great point. It's so gross.
Imagine the person, like, obviously, everyone says there was this kid that ended up pulling the card and blah blah blah. Imagine if it was just like a normal person, like one of us. Like, what if it was John? John would have been like, I don't want to sell it. Just send me my card. Like, I'm not selling it.
That's what I would say. Give me my card and don't talk to me.
Like, hey, just hand me the card and I'll decide what I want to do with it. But I might not want to sell it and keep it. Yeah.
It's not even getting there. Send me my card and stop talking to me. Like,
But here's the thing now, and I like that you brought up about football and stuff, and with Caleb and Jaden. But going forward, eventually, Tops and Fanatics are, like you said, are going to get the license. I think it's 2026 is when they're going to get the license for NFL and the NBA. And Tops and Fanat, they are going to create these debut patch rookie card autos now for football and basketball. And so now not only are we going to have them in baseball, but then you're going to see these top rookie quarterbacks getting these patches. You're going to see the top NBA prospects coming in, and in their rookie season, they're going to have this patch on their jerseys. Is this now the best card in all of sports? Like in all of sports cards? Like right now today, is this going to now be the most sought after card in existence today?
Gotta
because or possibly in existence. It's like, I mean, you have to understand, and we'll stick with baseball. Everybody knows the 52 Tops Mantle is the most iconic card in baseball, or probably in all of sports, to be totally honest. But one day, one of these players is going to surpass these legends of the sports eventually,
it's
right?
Weird. It's gonna be
so. Imagine having your 101 debut rookie patch auto. It's game worn from the first professional game you played in the sport.
I think that it's cool, and I think Paul's going to think it's cool because I don't think he really cares about Pittsburgh. That card for him is being displayed in a museum-like fashion in a store that so many people are going to see. That's great. I think that's great because I think he's going to be a Yankee in 6 years?
Unless Pittsburgh kind of turns it around. Unless Pittsburgh turns it around, man.
Yeah, no, he's going to be a Yankee because by then, by time they're going to be ready to sign or replace Garrett Cole, the last Pittsburgh flamethrower that they drafted.
Well, Pittsburgh is known for giving away every best player that they've ever had.
Obviously, anybody who listens to this who knows baseball knows that. But
any player that Pittsburgh has ever had,
Skenes has got Yankee written all over him only because the Dodgers are probably going to be spending another $500 million that same offseason to sign the next.
Well, eventually the Dodgers are just going to turn into a Japanese team.
Yes, right. So I was going to say they're going to sign the next three Japanese guys who are posted for $500 million, and the Yankees are like, crap, we got to keep up somehow. So I guess we got to give Paul Skenes like $700 million or whatever it's going to be by time he re-signs as a free agent. So. Yeah, Pittsburgh, enjoy it now because he's definitely gone. There's no way Pittsburgh's ownership is going to be able to pay Skenes' market value unless Skenes becomes unbelievably hittable somehow, which I don't see happening because he's like basically Nolan Ryan 2.0. Like he just like.
And the crazy thing about it is you were so big on Skenes before he got drafted because he obviously was he was a LSU Tiger. Go Tigers.
Yeah, but that's the only reason why. It's just like dumb luck, It's just like I was big on Mike Fontenot,
Hey,
it's just
mini Babe Ruth, man.
Yeah, right. I guess
mini Babe Ruth. Guy hit nukes, man.
Yeah, Mike Fontenot.
But so yeah, I mean. We could kind of, and I know Ryan from Card Collector 2. I know John sent in the group chat. Ryan from Card Collector 2 made a post, kind of basically talking about these debut patch cards and basically saying, are these now going to be the most iconic cards for collectors to go after and try to get? And I do think eventually, like, could you imagine? I mean, imagine if Shohei Ohtani had a debut, like a rookie debut patch auto.
I was gonna say it's kind of crazy that nobody talks about like who's chasing Shohei's of fives or even his golds or like I don't really see those circulate. Am I wrong? Like I don't see a lot of the like
because they're holding them, man.
Yeah, I
Everyone's
guess
probably
that's
looking
probably
at
true.
Otani
Yeah.
being the greatest baseball player of
Sorry,
all
Luke.
time.
Sorry, Luke.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Luke. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry,
You know
Luke.
what? Here's the
I'm
thing.
so sorry,
Us,
Luke.
all of us as collectors should be sorry because in 2020,
Yeah, it was like, damn,
every
sell.
single card
Yeah.
of his was
Yeah.
affordable. Almost
Yeah.
every card of his was affordable
Oh,
to
I was,
get.
yeah, but
You
I was,
could have bought
yeah.
up so many Otani
And
cards
Luke did.
like
Yeah.
Luke did, and because obviously 2018 I think he got hurt his rookie season,
Yeah.
and then 2020 he didn't even play. So the market just for him plummeted,
Yeah.
and nobody was expecting it. And then 2021 happens,
yeah, that's
and
when it
he
was
becomes
like,
MVP,
yeah, it
and
was a
he
year
takes
off.
off,
Yeah.
and
Then it
now
was
everyone
yeah.
and everyone's looking at Otani as him being obviously he's going to
And
end
in a
up being the
vacuum,
greatest
Luke
baseball
probably
player
made
of all time.
a good deal because he bought low and then sold high. But like,
Yeah, he made money off the cards. You can't,
he did.
you can't fault the guy for profiting off of his
No,
sports
I think
cards.
he did.
But
yeah,
looking back at it, I think the one thing upsets him the most is that he should have kept a couple. Is what he should have done.
I don't even remember what his best ones were. But whatever.
I don't remember either. But I remember going
probably going to be upset listening to this.
I remember going to card shops and seeing Otani rookie cards.
Yeah.
And they're like PSA 10s were like $100, man. And now you can't even probably touch. I think
at that point it was like he was still kind of gimmicky.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
Yeah. Everyone didn't know. They just knew about him, but no one ever actually witnessed a good season from him. And that's why. But speaking of Otani, and like we were talking about earlier in the podcast and right before we were started recording, is if you did watch the Tokyo series, if you noticed, Otani was wearing a gold MLB patch on the back of his jersey. And something that, again, like I was saying, how it's great that, the actual professional sports are coming together with these card companies, is MLB is collabing not only with Topps and Fanatics, but with Nike. I'm not sure how Nike kind of fits into the collab or what it's going to mean maybe for the sports
Nike does
cards.
the jerseys. So.
Yeah, so I don't know if maybe Nike's going to start putting logos or their logo into these cards as well. But it's a collab that they're doing with Topps, Fanatics,
they might
and
be cutting
Nike.
the logo out of if there's a logo
and
on
doing
the
like
can
a Nike logo card. But so the reason why the Otani had a gold logo on it, and you're gonna see it with Aaron Judge is gonna have one, Chris Sale, Tariq Skubal, Paul Skenes, and Luis Gill. They're all going to have these gold MLB logos on their jerseys, and it's going to be like that throughout the entire season. And that's because by the end of the 2025 season, MLB and Topps and Fanatics are going to take 10 of those patches, game-worn patches, probably from big games, I'm assuming, and whether it's going to be milestone games.
If it's the first 10, honestly,
or it could just be random too. It could be very random, but they're going to take those logos and they're going to integrate them into sports cards and they're going to send them out for us to collect. But they haven't announced what set it's going to be in yet. They didn't say what set for Topps these patches are going into, or like we were kind of saying, we kind of think maybe it's going to be like a specialty set that, we kind of been seeing with like Topps Mercury, Shohei Ohtani getting his 50-50 set. It might be maybe a kind of a set dedicated to the award winners. But now that's another thing that MLB's doing. And that's another card now that you can chase. And of course, they're going to have 101 patch autos. They're not rookie cards for them, of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, how much do you think of Shohei Ohtani?
It's another chase card.
It's another chase. It's another chase card. It's another big card for collectors to go out and try to get. I mean, like I was about to say, how much do you think a Shohei Ohtani gold logo is going to go for? It's probably going to go for a hefty penny, is my guess.
More than what you paid to pull it, which is all that matters. Doesn't even matter what it grades for, and probably the person does not even grade it. But
I mean, no, it's probably not worth like to me, if I was able to get the card, like I don't know if I would turn around and sell it because it's not a rookie card.
I would sell it.
It's like, but it's a good collector's item. I mean, unless I'm selling it
Yeah,
for
that's why I
obviously,
would.
I
That's
think
why I
they're
would
gonna
sell
be
it because there's
they're
probably
gonna be
enough
yeah.
Shohei people who are interested in it. And I don't
But
care
would you?
about that,
But if
so.
you pulled the Shohei Ohtani card, would you want to sell it now, or would you hold it?
What, that gold one?
Yeah, like if you
Yeah,
like
I
if
would
you were
sell
the
it. I
person,
would sell
you
it.
would sell it instantly.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would definitely sell it.
I actually I disagree. I would almost, if I was the one that ended up pulling it, I would hold it. That would be a career hold,
I
and
don't
that would
know,
be
like
something
what
that I think
I
I
don't
would.
know, like what the career value accruement on that would be versus trying to capitalize on. Oh, this is cool, like a cool new thing that they did for this year. Like, buy it now.
I mean, it does have the allure of being the first one.
Right. That's what I mean. That's why I'm trying to, like, all right, I'm trying to definitely sell this and get off of this.
Yeah, like I mean, if I was the person that ended
If I
up
pulled
pulling
it as a Shohei fan, maybe I'm not, but
I mean, what if you got the Paul Skenes one? You selling that right away, or you got a career? See, that's why like, it's too bad John wasn't on this because I know John would be like, I'm career holding these.
I probably still sell the Paul Skenes one too, because I am trying to capitalize on the $1.1 million sale that just happened.
Yeah.
And I'm like, rising tide lifts all boats. So let me throw my card out there. Because somebody who is like interested in that. But I'm also, it's probably silly of me to think, because that card is not going to sell for anywhere near what this gold.
Oh yeah, it's
It's
I mean,
not going to sell anywhere.
It's probably still going to be. I mean, it's probably still going to be a. My guess is it's probably still going to be at least a 5, maybe 6-figure card. It could even get. I mean, depending on if they send them and get graded. Like for me, if I was getting either Ohtani's or Paul Skenes' card, like this gold logo, man, I would be career holding these, in my opinion. But if I got Aaron Judge, Chris Sale, Tariq Skubal, Luis Gil, those I'd probably instantly just be like, okay. I probably wouldn't even grade them. I'd probably just sell it raw. And I would just say, hey, you.
Oh man,
you can sell.
I would
these.
say
maybe I don't know.
Maybe hold Skenes, but
yes,
everybody else,
I would be holding Skenes and Ohtani. I would be holding both of them.
I would sell. I mean, I'm selling Shohei and Skenes and everybody else if I pulled one of those. But if I had to hold somebody, maybe Skenes. I would hold Skenes over Shohei for sure, and then just get off of all of them, and hopefully the hype and whatever allure of them being the first of their kind drives the price up.
Imagine the season that Ohtani wins a Cy Young and an MVP.
Somebody's going to pull that out of a box that they bought themselves or break. Either way, I would think that those cards are going to cover your cost if you're buying it yourselves or buying into a break. So,
yeah,
that's all you could hope for, really.
Because and the good thing, in a lot of what we've seen in like vintage cards too, like going back to vintage, obviously one of the most iconic vintage cards that a lot of collectors like to chase is the 1962 Topps Roger Maris card. And a lot of people like that Roger Maris card because that's the set after that was the first set that came out after he obviously broke the record and hit 61 home runs. So that card was very iconic for a lot of people. Of course, the 62 Topps set was one of the most iconic sets that came out with baseball cards. But again, a lot of people like to chase that one. So, I mean, down the road, this can now be like a good accomplishment milestone type of card that collectors might like to chase because it's reminding you of an MVP season, and especially this one for Ohtani because this was his 50-50 season. So it's kind of
that's another reason why to maybe sell it or whatever.
Yeah. So I mean, it's going to be very iconic. I'm curious. Like once they kind of put a little bit more info out on this on these cards and like what set is it going into? Are they gonna? I really hope they don't make it into a specialty set. I really hope they
Yeah.
don't do that. Just put it in an
Oh
actual
yeah, I
box.
wonder
Like,
what they're gonna do. Is that you think that's just gonna be like in a series 1 or series 2 release or something like a
but
series or whatever?
I just don't. I don't know if you want to put them in series 1 and 2 because now you have those MLB debut patch rookies to chase. So if you put if you're
I
also
mean
now
that
put the
makes your
gold logos into it,
yeah.
you're kind of really top heavy in flagship, which might make people not want to buy into like Chrome and these other
Do you think they
products.
save that for Chrome?
But it's like I
They're
don't know
gonna
if you
have
could do it
enough.
for Chrome because they're not going to be Chrome style cards because they're patch cards. They're going to be you would have to almost put it in your flagship. You would have to put it in paper tops. So like I'm
So I wonder
afraid
if it
that they're
would
gonna
be like
make
series 2, right? They probably wanted to do series 2, even
or it's like
if they
or
did,
update
or they split it between 3 or how many? So there, what? There's 12 of them, or no? There's 6 of them. No, there's 12 total, so they could do 6 and 6,
what
right?
12 total what?
How many of those? How many gold label people are there? There's
It's 6.
Oh, there's
There's
6
6 of them.
total.
Yeah,
Oh
6
yeah,
total.
6 total. So they could do 3 and 3, like update or series 1 and series 2.
Yeah, so it's yeah, they could actually do 3 and 3. Yeah. Yeah, they could.
Yeah, I wonder if they do that then, just so they can, because that's if they make that like a yearly thing, then that makes your paper product kind of more buyable, I guess,
Yeah.
chaseable. So
I mean, it's here's the thing about flagship and I like that they're doing is because I mean, like we've talked about before, I mean, paper rookie cards really they're just not collectible anymore. Like or they're
yeah,
collectible but they're not profitable really anymore unless you're getting one of like the top rookies. Like if you were pulling like a paper, an auto of Paul Skenes paper rookie, yeah, you can turn around and sell that, but realistically, majority of the set's not profitable because people don't care about these paper rookie cards
or you get
anymore.
the one of one foil Jackson Job like John did.
Or like John did, and yeah, and
Yeah,
be able to like
like
that's
if
what's
he man,
valuable
if he
from the
got
set.
oh man, if that was a Skeens, boy,
I mean, the
that would be
fact that
nice.
John bought into a break and was still able to get a 101, like that was really cool.
Yeah,
Like that was an awesome
that was
thing. And
crazy. Yeah.
that's his second 101 that I think he's gotten because he got that Vukovic 101 too. You remember the
And
superfractor?
he pulled the one guy from the Chinese to pay.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the Stars and Stripes. Yeah, that's right. So three.
Yeah.
John's got the hot hands, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Hot hands, John. But yeah, I'll be curious to see what happens because it's kind of like how like kaboom cards were in football with absolute.
Yeah, right.
Realistically, you're buying into absolute football because you're chasing the kabooms, and I'm assuming now you're buying into Topps flagship for baseball because you want the redemption for these debut patches.
Yeah, these
And
yeah,
now
right.
if you add now the gold patches into it, yes, like you said, they could split them up 3 in series 1, 3 in series 2. They could put all 6 of them in update. Who knows? To try to like how Upper Deck does, where they put some of the top rookies in extended series. Just to try to kind of boost the profits of some of these kind of I guess maybe lower level sets that they're setting out. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they put them in Topps Big League Baseball.
Allen and
Hey
Ginter.
man, at Allen and Ginter. But
Yeah.
I don't think Allen and
Gypsy
Ginter's
Queen.
top. I don't know. Are those tops? Oh yeah, I think
Yeah,
they are.
those are
Yeah,
tops.
they
Yeah,
are.
those are tops.
Gypsy's Queen. Yeah,
Yeah, there you
dude.
go.
Do you know? Oh man, back when I was on my Brendan McKay kick, do you know, do you know how many I was almost buying like
Oh
Gypsy Queen,
man.
SGC 10 Gypsy Queen Brendan McKay rookie cards, man. I was looking at Allen and Ginter. I have
Oh
Allen and Ginter
man,
rookie cards too, man. It's just, yeah, it was bad. It was
that
bad.
set's fun. That set should be cheaper.
I don't even know if they do Gypsy Queen anymore.
I don't know. I haven't seen it, but Allen and Ginter, it should be cheaper than what it is for like
Allen and Ginter's
what
cool
you could
because
pull.
there's like you can like there. It's
Yeah, it's
just
a
like a
bunch of
weird set.
nonsense.
Like,
Yeah, it's a
yeah,
bunch of
it is a bunch of
nonsense.
nonsense. Yeah. Hey, man, one of the
And
best cards that I have in my collection, and it was given to me by my girlfriend. It was do you know? Have you ever watched the Challenge? MTV The Challenge? Or
no,
do you know of Johnny Bananas from MTV? You probably do if you looked him up. Okay, so
Johnny Bananas.
Johnny Bananas, he's from the MTV The Challenge, and that was well, you remember MTV? It used to be Road Rules, and then it became The Challenge. But Johnny Bananas has Allen and Ginter cards, and she um went through John, and John looked them up on eBay and found that he has Allen and Ginter cards, and then she had John buy them, and then she paid for them and gifted me these Johnny Bananas cards, and they're
That's
Allen
cute.
Ginter, man, and
Yeah,
I'm
there you
like,
go.
that's cool, man. That's yeah, it's a
Yeah,
fun
that's how it
set.
should
It's just
be.
a bunch of
Yeah,
nonsense.
yeah.
It is a
It
bunch
just
of
should be
nonsense.
cheaper because it's just a bunch of nonsense. Ooh. Oops.
Yeah, yeah. But I think that's a good spot that we can end on because really, I mean, it's
Yeah,
once
because
we kind of
everybody
gets a
failed
little.
on us.
Yeah, they're like, what are these guys talking? They guys just like they've just float off. Like
Yeah,
it's
I know.
we need to be tied down because what man, we just start like drifting. Like I
Yeah,
just
that's why
start
we need
drifting to
John
the
and
side
Luke.
and
Yeah.
yeah, no, John's pretty bad with it too. Luke reels us back in, but
Right.
John
Yeah.
will go on tangents too. Luke is the one that reels us back in and is like, okay, come on, let's get back on track here. But we're just everywhere, man. It's just always. And now I have to do the damn outro.
You got it,
Unless
man.
you unless you want to do the outro.
I don't know what the outro is, so you got it, man.
But yeah, we talked a lot on this episode. Of course, baseball's back, man. Opening day Thursday. We're recording today. It's Wednesday. Tomorrow's opening day for baseball. Baseball's back. It's a great
Yep.
time. We're all, huge baseball lovers. We talked a lot about baseball. We showed off some of our PC cards. We talked about how the Paul Skenes 101 debut patch cards sold for well over $1 million. We found out that Dick's Sporting Goods is the one that ended up winning the auction. They're going to have that card on display at one of their Dick's locations for the House of Sports or the House of Sport, which I think is absolutely amazing. You're bringing it back. You're letting the fans see the card. Like I said, it didn't go to some just like high-end, collector who's going to store it away in a safe and no one's going to be able to kind of see this card and enjoy it.
Yeah.
We talked about how maybe these cards are going to end up being the most iconic cards in sports. Especially once Fanatics gets the hold of the license for football and basketball, because they are now going to bring those debut patch cards into those sports as well. And then we talked about MLB's collab that they did with Topps, Fanatics, and Nike, bringing in these gold MLB logo mans. They're gonna they put them on 6 of the award winners from last year. They're gonna wear them all throughout the 2025 season, and then it's got to be a frenzy, man. It's going to be a sports card frenzy. Everyone's going to be, chasing these logo mans that they're going to put out. It's going to be a lot of fun coming up. I know a lot of people had a lot of speculation about, when Fanatics got into sports cards, when they bought out Topps. A lot of people kind of didn't know what that meant. But I have to say, I think they're doing a really damn good job. Like they're making it exciting.
Yeah.
And the fact now that they have Fanatics now has this 101 sell for well over $1 million, kind of shows me that they know what they're doing, and they're kind of them integrating all these professional sports into the sports cards, and it's just a very exciting time to be in the hobby, that's for sure. At least the sports card hobby. No one's having fun over there on the Pokemon side, but we're enjoying life over here in sports.
Hey man, we're having a great time on the Pokemon side because we are scalpers.
Yeah, I love how everybody just thinks
scalpers. That's
we
my
never
job.
once
I
said
just
we're-
wake up,
yeah.
I follow.
Never once said it.
Yep, I follow the Nintendo truck around. Yeah, the
Yep.
guy texted me. He's like, "Hey man, I just got up," and I'm like, "Hey dude, cool. I'll get us donuts.
Yeah.
I'll meet you
Right.
at the
Yeah.
first
That's what
Target."
we don't have real jobs. We don't
Yeah.
have actual jobs. We just scout Pokemon cards. That's what we do for a living. You know, we just sit here waiting. We're the bots buying everything up. Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Everybody
I'm the
just
botter. Yes, I am
yeah.
the
People
botter.
just read us like a book, man.
Yeah,
Read us like a book.
that's
But
true.
if you are enjoying these topics that we talk about here on the Jelly Cards podcast, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on Apple Podcasts. Give us a rating if you are enjoying the topics. John would absolutely appreciate that. You can follow us on Instagram as well. I've been trying to post a lot of content on there, both content from the podcast, showing off some PC cards. I would really love to for you, Luke, John. I can give you guys all the we use Riverside for our podcast platform. I can give you all the login stuff, man. It's super easy. It takes me like no time to make these videos and put them up. You guys can really just start showcasing your PC, man.
Yeah, my PC is weird though.
No, your PC is the best. You got expect. Okay, that's good. Weird's good, man. It's good to show off these random cards, man. It shows that you're a true collector.
Yeah. No, I'm a scalper. So.
No, you're a true collector.
No, I'm a
jelly
true
cards.
scalper.
Jelly cards are we are true collectors. We love this hobby. We love collecting cards. Like I said, please, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on our podcast platforms, both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Give us a rating. And as always, keep spreading the love of the hobby from your friends at Jelly Cards.